Qui nous promène au cœur des parutions de ce 3 décembre de l'an de grâce 2020. Nous ouvrons donc tabloïd sur les antennes de la CRTV par le quotidien Émergence qui s'intéresse donc à l'auteur camerounaise Djaïli Amadou Amal. C'est le sacre consacre donc sa une, l'émergence ce matin, avec donc notre compatriote qui finalement réussit le pari d'obtenir le prix concours littéraire pour les lycéens, exercice 2020. C'est donc Djaïli Amadou Amal, l'Amazone camerounaise, la native de l'extrême nord du Cameroun. Eh bien, le quotidien Le Jour qui revient sur ce sacre avec en fond le lourd silence de ces femmes battues, les viols, mariages précoces et également viols au sein des couples même. Le quotidien bleu nous permet d'avoir cette lecture panoramique pendant qu'on sacre ou savoure le sacre de notre compatriote Djaïli Amadou Amal juste en rez-de-chaussée de ce quotidien de Aman Bana. Djaïli Amadou Amal désormais dans la lucarne de la commission ou du comité national d'agrément des manuels et matériels didactiques de la République du Cameroun. Forcément se retrouvera probablement dans les programmes à venir de l'enseignement secondaire général du Cameroun. Cameroun Tribune, lui, revient sur l'actualité de l'heure. Nous sommes désormais à 72 heures de la toute première consultation relative aux élections régionales et revient sur l'acte du chef de l'État qui consiste à apporter un coup de pouce au commandement traditionnel, tout comme leurs candidats, vis-à-vis les candidats venant simplement des formations politiques, ils peuvent désormais passer à la caisse, bénéficier de cet accompagnement durant leur campagne électorale qui atteint son apothéose le 5 décembre à minuit, vu qu'à 8 h le 6, les bureaux de vote seront ouverts, les observateurs étant désormais au fait de l'actualité et surtout de l'avancée démocratique de la République du Cameroun. Avec ces élections régionales, c'est donc le sacre des institutions démocratiques et surtout la mise en branle de la décentralisation sous toutes ses coutures. Le soir Tri-Hebdo revient sur la même actualité, l'accompagnement du chef de l'État concernant les commandements traditionnels et les chefs qui peuvent également bénéficier, comme les candidats des partis politiques, d'une enveloppe afin de mener à bien leur campagne. On va tout de suite avec Mutation, le quotidien de la rue de l'aéroport. Lui s'intéresse aux pratiques peu orthodoxes, les pratiques de corruption et même antidémocratiques selon le journal Mutation donc de Boyobo, Georges Alain. Ce matin, le parti du Rassemblement démocratique du peuple camerounais serait plongé dans le syndrome du 100% et use de tous les moyens pour atteindre où justement les coups sont permis. Tous les coups sont permis, dit-on, dans le monde de la politique. Eh bien, le quotidien se permet de rappeler que la Commission nationale anticorruption a d'ailleurs mis en branle une cellule de veille concernant les pratiques peu orthodoxes, peu antidémocratiques, avec la ligne verte, appel gratuit 15-17. À lire donc dans les colonnes de Mutation en ce 3 décembre 2020 contre 400 francs CFA. Et puis, défi actuel revient, lui, ce matin sur le feuilleton à rebondissement port autonome de Douala et surtout DIT, Douala International Terminal, qui a vu sa concession stoppée net dernièrement et qui avait saisi des instances juridictionnelles, lesquelles ont rendu un verdict à Paris en faveur justement de cette corporation et verdict qui semble être un petit peu pas du goût du port autonome de Douala qui désormais a sa régie de terminal à conteneurs. Eh bien, c'est un feuilleton à lire et à redécouvrir dans les colonnes de ce journal Défi actuel. Mesdames, Messieurs, de votre fidélité, merci. Merci de nous donner rendez-vous et de nous retrouver demain, Inch'Allah.
Voilà, c'est donc beaucoup de programmes alléchants, riches et variés qui vous attendent sur nos différentes antennes de CRTV et CRTV News. Vous avez le choix Cameroun Delight de ce 3 décembre 2020 se poursuit. On va marquer une pause pour les Top Stories. On se retrouve juste après pour parler d'économie avec Ewan Epolé.
special road safety campaign to reduce road accidents and roll back the COVID-19 pandemic has ended in the West region. The 3-day exercise, which was also to intensify security before, during and after the regional elections and the end-of-year festivities, was led by Lieutenant Colonel Isumba Odingi.
Inauguration de l'hôtel de ville de Man dans la région du Sud, c'est dans cette partie du pays que semble ouverte la saison des cadeaux. Pour le coup, la petite localité reçoit en briques et en ciment un hôtel de ville. La dotation œuvre du FECOM est du genre agréable mais surtout utile. La cérémonie d'inauguration de cet édifice s'est déroulée hier sous la présidence du ministre de la Décentralisation et du Développement local.
Agricultural stakeholders in the Adamawa, North and Central regions have been encouraged to cultivate cashew nuts, which is today seen as an agricultural commodity with important economic opportunities. This was during a 3-day seminar organized in Gaoundéré to drill participants on better techniques of boosting cashew cultivation.
2,9 milliards de francs CFA pour garantir la maturation des projets. Le ministre de l'Économie a signé une convention de facilité de coopération technique, un outil de l'Union européenne pour accompagner le montage et la mise en œuvre des projets financés par le Fonds européen de développement.
The Man Town Hall in the Thames Valley division of the South region has been inaugurated in a ceremony presided at by the Minister of Decentralization and Local Development, George Elanga Obama. The one-story edifice to host the council spreads over a surface area of 10,000 square meters and has been constructed to the tune of 358 million francs. The project has been financed by the Special Council Fund for Mutual Assistance FECOM.
Parti tout de suite pour la page écho de cette édition. Ewan et Pauline nous a rejoint dans ce studio. Bonjour.
Good morning, Cathy.
Vous allez bien ce matin?
Thank God, we're back again today.
Voilà, je vous retrouve dans une poignée de secondes pour la page écho. Alors tout de suite, on va commencer par la reconstruction de la Sonara qui fait partie de l'actualité du jour.
That's it, Cathy. Once again, good morning and good morning to our viewers. It's a pleasure welcoming you to this economic news page on CRTV and CRTV News. We start talking about the reconstruction of Sonara in the southwest region of Cameroon, precisely in Limbe. The Minister of Water Resources and Energy, Gaston Elundu Somba, has said that Sonara's reconstruction depends on the effective restructuring of its over 700 billion CFA francs debt. And according to the minister, the reconstruction of Sonara will cost about 250 billion CFA francs. Minister Gaston Elundu Somba disclosed the figures during his address to the parliamentarians. And the Cameroon government has decided to transfer over 20 megawatts of energy from the Ahala thermal plant to the that is to offset load shedding in the 3 northern regions. The Minister of Water and Energy, still that is Gaston Elundu Somba, was at the Ahala this week, the thermal plant of Ahala this week, in order to witness the departure of 23 generators that are supposed to be dispatched in the Adamawa region, that is in Gaoundéré, and Garwa in Jambutu. There is 8 generators going to Gaoundéré and 13 in Garwa. This time around, we talk about the government experts, of course, that government that expects to raise 452 billion CFA francs from capital markets in order to fund its deficit in the year 2021. The budget deficit is estimated at 1,481 billion CFA francs.
Et maintenant, on va partir à l'Assemblée nationale où la situation des contrats forestiers a été présentée aux parlementaires.
And let's now talk about the major news stories that mark the week. The parliamentary session there is where the ministers of public contracts and that of forestry have addressed parliamentarians on the situation of their different ministerial departments, and we get the details in the report of Esther Kima Tabot.
Intensifying control missions and auditing to combat corruption in the award and physical execution of contracts is a target in the public contract sector, allotted 14.4 billion CFA francs.
The priority is to intensify our control. I think the control is a very key issue because we give the money to the people, we award the contracts, but in fine, we did not receive what normally they could do.
In forestry and wildlife, in spite of the 1.3 billion drop in the budget, 15.9 billion will guarantee the effective management and renovation of forests.
Our country is facing today some challenges. Major. We are decided to fulfill our duties and to continue with the management of forestry.
With acute water and energy deficits in most parts of the nation, 350 scan water stations will be rehabilitated and power transmission lines commissioned with 228.4 billion in 2021.
We are going to commission the transmission line between Mvele Dams and Yaoundé. We would like to finalize to complete the interconnection between East and South region. In water, we are going to start rehabilitation of scan water.
Refurbishing work on Sonora will also kick off as the main priority in the field of petroleum products.
Cooperation ties between Cameroon and the European Union are already yielding fruits. A convention to enhance development in the country was signed recently with the Minister of Economy, Planning and Regional Development, who signed on behalf of the government of Cameroon. Prince Will Mokwele Aduma reports.
The third technical cooperation facility is powered by a 2.9 billion CFA francs envelope with a 66% contribution by the European Union and the state of Cameroon providing the remainder of 34%. The signing of this instrument aimed at coordinating and monitoring EU development inputs in Cameroon by Sébastien Bergeon, representative of the EU delegation, and Minister Alamine Ousmane May, was done in recognition of the success of the two previous TCFs.
Main objective is to reinforce capacities of actors of cooperation in Cameroon and EU.
This third TCF lays emphasis on the welfare of the populations.
The route that will avoid people to get into Yaoundé has been studied through this facility. So the Coton is going to benefit later. The extension of the railway between Cameroon and Chad, Yaoundé and Ngaoundéré have been done based on the resources mobilized through this facility.
Effective implementation, therefore, guarantees future investments from the EU and partners.
The Executive Council officials of the African Union are strategizing on ensuring an effective African free trade in the continent as they prepare to meet soon as for the 21st extraordinary session. Charles Zebune reports.
The next African Union Summit holds this December 5. Two issues will be dominating deliberations amongst many issues. 1. The effective start of commercial transactions for the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area next January 1 to create a common market of roughly 1.2 billion people. The other issue is the silencing of guns on the continent, one of the worrisome issues responsible for wars and chaos on the continent. The 21st extraordinary session of the African Union Executive Council holds within that framework today. Across the continent, deliberations are chaired by the current president of the rotating presidency of the African Union, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa, and also participating is the chairman of the African Union Commission, Chadian-born Musa Faki Mahamat. President Paul Biya is represented in the video conference by External Relations Minister Mbela Mbela. Within the framework of the COVID-19 modus operandi, the meeting is taking place by video conference across the continent.
And let's now talk about the Cameroon digital boost, as experts of the diaspora are already working in partnership with the Ministry of Posts and Telecommunications, POSTEL, in order to put in place a digital policy in Cameroon.
Initiated by Cameroonian-born Samuel Here Mandeng, the Cameroon Digital Boost 2020, the first in its kind, has as main objective to promote synergy between key actors of the Cameroon digital economy and experts from the diaspora in order to build a strong and competitive digital industry.
COVID-19 also just made the whole thing worse. What we are doing right now basically gives each and every entrepreneur a competitive advantage. We have different sectors, emerging sectors that will be born as a result of what we are doing. And I think that we are also going to create, give and take a whole lot more entrepreneurs in the digital space.
During the seminar, participants were drilled on digital leadership and creating a network of economic operators that will greatly contribute in supporting local entrepreneurs in their markets. Experts of the Cameroon Digital Boosts are working with the Ministry of Posts and Telecommunications, POSTEL, in developing a digital policy in the country.
And let's now talk about our figure of the day.
Voilà, on va terminer par le chiffre du jour, 30,7 milliards de francs CFA.
There is the figure of the day today in the economic news page. It's 30.7 billion CFA francs. This sum of 30.7 billion CFA francs is the money the Cameroon government has collected as transit fees on the Chad-Cameroon oil pipeline that is between the month of January to October 2020. The amount is up by 2.5% compared to last year. So the figure of the day is 30.7 billion CFA francs. The money the Cameroon government has collected so far is from the transit on the oil pipeline between Chad and Cameroon.
Thank you very much, Ewane Ipole. Merci beaucoup et à jeudi prochain.
Exactly. Thank God, and hopefully next week we're going to join you again same time. Stay tuned to our programs.
Et on va poursuivre ce programme en parlant du décès de l'ancien président français Valéry Giscard d'Estaing qui s'est éteint hier à l'âge de 94 ans. Il était victime du coronavirus. Il a été hospitalisé dans un hôpital français à la mi-novembre. Donc il a succombé à cette maladie puisqu'il souffrait d'une...
It is a beautiful Thursday morning, December 3, 2020. 28 days left and we will be done with this year 2020. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure having you on Tabloid on CRTV and CRTV News. We begin with Cameroon Insider. It headlines Shan 2021 hosting PM1's CAF concerns over lodging held addressed. The Cameroon Insider says Prime Minister, head of the National Committee charged with coordinating preparatory efforts for the upcoming continental football spectacle to be hosted by Cameroon, has instructed that all necessary steps be taken in order to meet the new demands brought about by the coronavirus pandemic. As far the hosting of the Shan in 2021 is concerned, there are new demands in hotel accommodation and health conditionalities. More of that story, page 2 of Cameroon Insider will give you more. The Guardian Post newspaper headlines: Battle for Kumba City top job far from over. Ngo Kele interpreting Southwest Administrative Court ruling as victory. Meanwhile, Gregory Mewanu heads to Supreme Court to clear ex-convict stigma. That is what the Guardian Post newspaper, the lone English language daily, is telling us this morning. It says the wrangling over the post of city mayor of Kumba, Meme Division Southwest region has taken another surprise, a legal twist, a bit confusion in the public space. The new moves, many say, make it still too early to know who will preside over the destiny of the metropolis for the next 5 years. Parties in the Tulsul, Victor Kelengo, former government delegate to the Kumba City Council, KCC, and his rival Gregory Temeyok Mewanu are said to have since November 26 been seeking options to put things in their favor. A Thursday, November 26, 2020 ruling of the Southwest Administrative Court in Boya is pictured as having generated mixed reactions from both Ngo's camp and that of Mewanu. Page 3 of the lone English language daily Cameroon Tribune, or rather the Guardian Post newspaper, will be giving you more of that story. The Horizon newspaper says President Biya boost chiefs campaigns at last. Cameroon's traditional rulers who saw themselves sidelined from campaign funding, given that the electoral law gives that privilege only to political parties, now have cause to smile. The Horizon newspaper says President Paul Biya is offering an undisclosed package or financial package to all traditional rulers in Cameroon participating in the regional election this Sunday, December 6, 2020. You will be having more details of that. Good news for traditional rulers in page 7 of the Horizon newspaper. The Median still on the traditional rulers, saying that Player Father Christmas, well, in one of its headlines, it says Player Father Christmas. President Paul Biya's poised traditional rulers with raw cash. The special disbursement is aimed to enable the chiefs to adequately campaign for the regional elections in their constituencies. The information is disclosed or contained in a release signed Wednesday, December 6 by Territorial Administration Minister Paul Atanga NG. Newswatch publication tells us in one of its headlines this morning, Camtel General Manager begs ex-Amber fighters, lure your former comrades in arms to also surrender. Judith Yasunde Ebsia Chidi was addressing ex-Amber fighters at the Disarmament, Demobilization and Reintegration DDR Center in Bamenda. Meanwhile, religious leaders have been encouraged to become diplomats of peace as far as the armed conflict in the northwest and southwest regions is concerned. You will find more of that story in the Newswatch paper publication of this Thursday. Away from Newswatch, the Post headlines: Government is powerless in award of certain contracts in the country. The Post weekend says local contractors in the road construction sector have decried what they consider as the government's preference for foreign companies in the award of contracts for big road projects. That is what the Post Weekender is telling us in its measure or main headline this Thursday morning. The Post Weekender says the contractors recently vented out their anger in Douala during a meeting ICT's Multimedia Center for Blind People. The government's gift launched at the Club for Rehabilitated Blind People of Cameroon was inaugurated in Yaoundé. That's yesterday, Wednesday, December 2, 2020, by Post and Telecommunication Minister. It seeks to ease their access to ICTs and its related advantages, as well as all-round education. Pages 16 to 17 of the National Bilingual Daily Cameroon Tribune has more of that story. And we round up our press review this morning with Eco Santé. It headlines: Chantabia appelle à une solidarité globale pour éliminer le sida en 2030. That is the headline of Eco Santé. Eco Santé is telling us that this was on the occasion of the 33rd World AIDS Day on Tuesday, December 1, 2020. The First Lady, who is the founder of the Chantabia's Foundation Against HIV and Special Ambassador for UN AIDS, presented a balance sheet, or has presented a balance sheet for the fight against the killer disease and the conditions for its elimination by 2030. Page 5 of Eco Santé will be telling you more of that health story. And that was it for Tabloid, or call it Press Review, this morning on CRTV and CRTV News. Have a wonderful time. Tomorrow is another day, but do always endeavor to save 400 francs to get any of these publications and get yourself informed. Thank you.